So that's a little sneak peek at what you're going to see at the end of the video, and that's me putting these tips to the test for you guys. Now, I've gotten really good at bull red fishing over the years. I've done it for a long time. I've taken friends out to catch bull reds, and I've been pretty successful. And this is kind of what I'm putting out there so that I can show you guys how I do this from shore. So I'm not fishing in a boat, I'm not fishing on my kayaks, I'm fishing from shore for these monster bull redfish. Now, a lot of people don't understand how easy it really is to catch these fish. Especially October and into November, these fish are schooling up because they're going through their breeding run. And that brings me to my first point, is when you catch these fish, release these fish. These are the fish that are breeding and spreading our population and making our fishing population bigger. So these bull redfish need to be released, but you can have a lot of fun catching them at the same time. So the first thing I'm going to go through is my rods and reel setups, and then I'm going to go into my leader ties, and last I'm going to show you kind of where I'm fishing and what I'm targeting, and then I'm going to finish it off with me catching a bull redfish. So I'm going to start with the rods. The first rod I'm going to show you is the typical bull redfish setup, and that's a big surf rod. This is a Sea Lion from Bass Pro Shops. It's a 10-foot surf rod, big, like 6,000 size reel, something like that. It holds 300 yards of 30-pound mono, and that's what I have on this, was 30-pound mono on this big 10-foot surf rod. This is kind of what you normally see people throwing when they're fishing at a jetty. And it's great for bull red fishing and it gets the job done very easily. But I also want to show you guys that there is a way to get out there and catch these fish on light tackle. It doesn't always have to be big surf rods and big surf weights. So the next rod that I've used pretty extensively when I go bull red fishing is my Penn Spin Fisher 3500 sized reel. I have that matched up on a 7.6 Falcon, and it's a medium action rod. And again, I have 30-pound braid on these reels. So the smaller reels, you're going to want to go kind of a heavy braid. That's what I found has been most successful. If I use like 20-pound mono, I find myself, especially if I'm fishing jetties, breaking off a lot. So with these smaller reels, you're going to want to go with something like 30-pound braid, which is what I have on this reel. But again, it's a smaller size reel, but it gets the job done still. And last but not least, I even go as light as throwing a Penn Battle 2500. So a 2500 size reel fishing for these bull redfish can also get the job done, and I will tell you it's a lot of fun. So I also put 30-pound braid on this. That's kind of my go-to weight when I'm fishing for bull redfish. So 30-pound braid will go on this Penn Battle 2500 as well. And again, that's a medium action rod that I've got it on. Actually, it might be medium light. But you can go as light as that if you want a longer fight. But if you're going to fight them for longer, you're going to have to revive them longer, so keep that in mind. So now let's get into kind of the leaders. So, when I'm going big surf rod, I'm only really throwing that, I throw it out there just to leave it, and you put a little bit heavier weights on there, especially in heavier currents. When the current is ripping and you need to keep a bait on bottom, you're going to need to throw your heavy surf rods. That's because you're going to need heavy weights when the current's ripping. Something like an 8-ounce spider weight is probably the max I'd ever throw. I'd never throw something bigger than this, and I very rarely throw these because I don't, like putting heavy weights on bottom. That's just not my style of fishing. So this, 8-ounce spider weight will only come out of my tackle box if it's a very heavy current and I can't keep bait on bottom. Then this thing will dig into the sand and hold your bait where you need it to go. So that's the only time I'm throwing this. But other than that, usually on the surf rod I'm throwing like a 3-ounce either teardrop weight or egg sinker. On the lighter rods, I'll go as heavy as a 2-ounce egg sinker. Most of the time I'm throwing a 1-ounce or even less than a 1-ounce depending on the current. Again, if it's a lighter current day, you don't need heavy weights. Alright, so now I'm quickly just going to get into hook selection. The hook that I always use is a 5/0 circle hook. I say always, most of the time I'm throwing this. I'll go 4 and I'll go 6 occasionally, but to me 5 is a good happy medium. I've caught 40+ inch bull redfish on this, as well as smaller slot fish. So it's a versatile hook that I think always uses. The gauge, the thickness, I always go, I like rather thick hooks just because I've had these bull redfish straighten out these hooks, and you don't want that to happen. So you don't want a thin hook. You want a pretty meaty gauge hook, but about 5/0 size. That's the perfect size. Alright, next I'm going to get into the leader material that I use. Usually I'm throwing about 40-pound leaders. 30-pound will get you by. It's pretty much fine. It gives you the stretch that you need for these fish. But you know, sometimes if I'm breaking off, I will want to go up to about a 40-pound leader size. That's a pretty good size. Now you can go as high as, like, let's say 80-pound if you really want. If you're really fishing a place that has a lot of rocks that can break you off like a jetty, then 80 pounds probably the way you're going to want to go. Even on a jetty though, if you're fishing and you're not breaking off, 40 pounds probably good. 60-pound leader material also. You know, it's up to you and what you want to do. Like I said, usually if you had to go out and pick one weight, I'm usually throwing 40 on my leaders. I'll go even as low as 30, like I said before. So now I'm going to get into zooming in on this and showing you the ties that I use. I use 2 particular leader ties, and I'll show you guys those now. Alright, so first things first, if you're going to throw these lighter rods, this is just a really easy tie to use, and you can use whatever knot you want, but take your braid, like I said, it's like 30-pound braid here. Take that, put your egg sinker there. This is like a 3/4 ounce or 1/2 ounce, so you might want to up that if current's a little bit stronger. You go to a swivel, whatever tie you want to use, tie there, and then you go to your leader here. Now I want to show you my hook leader tie. That's a very cool tie that I learned. I don't remember where I learned it from, but I'm going to show you that now. Alright, so here's the hook tie. So this is the hook tie I wanted to show you because it's super easy, simple, and I really enjoy it. I really like it. It saves me a lot of time. Now the key to this tie is you cannot have your leader material already tied to your swivel and weight. This needs to be done before you attach it. So you need to attach it to your hook first, and I'll show you why. So you're taking one end of your leader and you're getting your hook. Alright, so there's your 5/0 hook. Now you go through the eye and you leave a little tag end. You hold that tag end to the shaft of your hook. Now you take the other side of your line and you wrap the shaft of your hook. Alright, so if you see this, I'm just wrapping the line around the shaft of the hook. That's about 5 times you want to go around. You hold that, and then you take your free end. Alright, so there's your free end, and you just come straight back through the eye of your hook. Pull that tight, and there's your knot. Now this is going to hold, if you pull, like let's say you have this free end, that's where you're going to your swivel. You pull on that, and that actually just keeps tightening it. I've never had this knot come out. If you want a closer look, I don't know if it's going to focus, but it's a quick, easy knot around your hook, and I love it for leaders. I tie all my leaders with this knot, so that's a pretty cool knot that I thought I'd show you guys. Alright, so that first setup I showed you was a Carolina rig. That's your weight going above a single swivel to your leader material, and then you do that leader tie that I just showed you to your hook. Now another leader that I'll tie is, you know, a 3-way swivel leader. The way I do this is, alright, so the top, you see here the top, so at the top we're going to tie to the main line, so that's the side that you tie to your rod from your rod tip through your reel. This side, the bottom side, is where you're going to tie your weight to, and this left side is where I'm going to tie my hook to. So my hook tie can go right here to this left side. Alright, so that's where your leader is going to go, and that doesn't need to be a particularly long hook leader. That leader can be probably 10 inches, maybe a foot if you want. It doesn't even have to be that long. It can be, you know, 6 inches. I wouldn't go less than 6 though. And then you want the bottom tie. Now that one I want to use lightweight line. So the reason you want to do that is because if you're throwing something like this, and let's say that's what's going as your weight for a big like surf rod, that's the weight you're going to be using. If that thing gets stuck in the water or on a rock or something, you're going to want that to break free because you've still got the fish on the hook end. So you want to use maybe 15 to 20 pound mono on that. That way if it does get stuck for whatever reason, it'll break off really easy and simple. So again, you can use, you know, drop weights, 1-2 ounce drop weights. Another great weight is these pyramid sinkers. So pyramid sinkers, you can get those, you know, pretty much any tackle shop, and that's what they look like. You can go 3 ounce is usually what I'll throw. I bought some heavier weights. This is, I think, 6 ounce. I bought those because I was going to fish the surf, which had super heavy currents. I didn't actually end up using them. I used lighter weights. I hope I explained that right. If you want me to explain it further, leave a comment below and I'll help explain that further. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory there. So now let's talk about where we're going fishing. So October and November are the prime months for bull redfish. That's when their breeding migration begins and they're following a blue crab migration as well as, the mullet run. So that's what they're feeding on, is blue crab and mullet. I like throwing mullet. To me, it's a lot easier to use. Cut mullet and live mullet. Depends on what they're eating. If they're not eating live mullet, go to cut mullet or any kind of cut bait. If they're not eating cut bait, try to catch some live mullet and use that. Blue crab still works great. I don't use it very often, but I know a lot of other people do with success. So where am I going? Any pretty much pass that goes from the bay to the open Gulf. That's where these bull reds are running through. So you're looking at, Galveston jetties. They're going to be pushing out through there and kind of pushing back into that Texas City Dike area. So that's where I actually went fishing, is a Texas City Dike. But other places, on the Boulevard side, you're looking at Rollover Pass. That's another place that these bull reds are going to be coming out of the bay and into the open Gulf. The San Luis Pass, it's a little bit dangerous, so you got to be careful when you go fish that area, but that's also where the bull reds are going to be running. They'll be schooled up pretty heavy at this time of year. Now if you go farther south, Port O'Connor jetties are unbelievable. You really need a boat to fish the Port O'Connor jetties, but again, that's another pass that these reds are going to be running through. I did a lot of my fishing before I moved to Houston in the Port Aransas, Rockport area. Now if you're looking to catch fish there, obviously you're going to be going to the Port A jetty. Port Aransas jetty is great for catching redfish. They'll be running on that channel side, they'll be running on the surf side, they'll be running at the end. Port Aransas jetty at that time of year, late October, early November, that's when I've had my best success. Going farther south, you're looking at Packer Channel jetty, obviously that's a pass. So, and pretty much, like I said, any pass that's running from bay to the Gulf, that's where you're going to end up catching a lot of bull redfish from shore. You'll also catch these fish on channels. So any channels along the bay that kind of lead towards the Gulf, you're also going to catch fish there. So you'll see trucks and trucks lined up off the intercoastal trying to catch these bull redfish on these channels in the bay. It's another great place to go if you're fishing from shore. Just get your truck, get to the intercoastal or the channels that are off the intercoastal. Like if you're in, let's say, the Corpus Christi area, cross the causeway towards the North Padre Island side. Those channels all along that causeway road, those are fantastic for catching bull redfish. So look at those also. But another place, and it's easy, is in the surf, in the Gulf. Go to the beach, Padre Island National Seashore. Fish the second and third guts with, live mullet and cut mullet or whatever you have available. You're going to catch bull reds there as well. They're running the surf heavy at this time of year also. So all you BTB anglers on your kayaks, that's another place you can go to catch these bull redfish using these techniques. And that's why I wanted to show you the lighter tackle side, so you can get on your kayak and go out and catch these fish. You don't need a 10-foot surf rod to catch these fish at all. So if you have any further questions, put it in the comments below, let me know. Now you're going to see me putting my tackle tips to the test at the Texas City Dike. Enjoy. Come over here, Corey. I'm under you, so come over here. Like this. Yeah, now reel. You reel. Now that one we have to worry about. Come all sorts across. Pick that rod up. Over there. Come over here, Cora. Go under. Now come out under. And now lift the rod up, lift it up. All right, now just hold it there, yeah. good. You want to get the net? What's that? 30-pound braid. He's got me dancing though, jeez. He's hooked up again. Oh, they're stuck. He's a nice one. No, don't worry about it right now. Okay, yeah, okay. Get that net ready. Yeah. Hey, pull him this way. Kind of turn his head. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learned how to go out and catch these awesome bull redfish. But please, like I said before, release these fish. These are our breeders. These are the ones keeping our redfish population up. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. That would be much appreciated. Also, if you have any further questions, feel free to comment below or email me at redhuntertx@gmail.com and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll answer any questions you guys have. You can find us on Facebook by searching Texas Redfish Hunter TV, and you can find us on Instagram. Follow us at Texas Redfish Hunter. Also, if you are new around here and enjoyed the videos and want more fishing content, hit that subscribe button right there to subscribe to my channel. If you want to see our kayak fishing videos, click the kayak fishing picture. And if you want to see us catch multiple bull redfish using these techniques, hit that bull redfish picture and it'll take you to that video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next time.